Welcome to Get Known, Be Seen Web TV. And this is a TV show where we have people on who are needing to highlight what they're doing and increase their visibility. And we also have honest guests, people who are sharing their expertise to help the viewers be able to get them known and be seen and increase their visibility. Now, this is a particular special segment of Get Known, Be Seen Web TV, because during this month we are sharing highlights from the Get Known, Be Seen Expo from 2018. And we are showcasing some of the authors that appeared at that workshop expo, and they're going to be sharing with you some of their journey, what it's like to be published, and a little bit about the book that they have. And so today's author, which is a great pleasure for us to showcase, is Janice Muir. Welcome, Janice.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Hi, Janice. Welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely delighted, Janice. So first question I'd like to ask you to share with our viewers is, what was your journey like to becoming published?
Once the decision was made, it was actually fairly straightforward for me because I had a knowing inside that I knew I was going to be an author. And I knew that basically at a very young age. But of course, life takes you on its journey, and it wasn't until my late 40s, 50s before I even started to write. So the journey itself I loved. I found an editor when I thought I was looking for a ghostwriter, and I found an editor who said, you write, I'll edit. And that's what exactly happened. So I really found my style and witnessed some huge experiences in the very first experience. And then I was very fortunate to meet somebody who actually then put me through a coaching element of what my writing style was. And when my second book came out, I was elated with the way in which everything had flowed. So the journey itself was liberating because initially I went through a publishing house, and the second time I did it all myself. I published the whole lot myself. So, you know, really, really feeling chuffed with myself to have got to this point.
Beautiful.
Awesome, awesome.
So, Janice, tell us what actually drove you to do it. Like you've said that you had a knowing a long, long time ago. What was there a turning point where you, as you said in the beginning, made that decision to go and do it?
Look, if I go back to the child level, 8 or 9 years of age, I loved writing composition at school. So that was a knowing then, and I would always write in the third person until the teacher one day said to me, why are you always the cat, the dog, the horse, the budgie, the canary, whatever? And I looked at him and said, what? I had no idea that I was even writing from that element, but it became an understanding that, I have to write in a different level. And that didn't change for me for many, many years. But probably the turning point was when I made the decision to write for myself. I automatically started in that place, and the editor at the time said, no, we need to get this so that it's you speaking. Well, I thought I already was, you know, but I didn't understand what that third person caliber was. So the drive for me was the passion to want to share us the message.
Okay.
The passion to want to actually get the journey out there. And whilst the first book actually had 2 editions, I was driven to want to share that from a teenage perspective because of what happened for me as a teenage in the journey of being able to win a gold medal. The vision and all of that comes from within the passion. And then from, as I said, the teachers that came into my life that helped me with a writing style, and mind you, she was an English teacher, so I couldn't fail. The bottom line was I found the essence of how I could write and be in a speech bubble and take people into that speech bubble to know what was going on at that point in time and the chatter that was happening for me. And that was the drive that actually excelled me to want to do that more.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Look, Janice, we all have challenges, and those challenges can be big and small, and you've touched a little bit briefly when you were just speaking then, what were the challenges that you had to overcome to get these books out?
One of the first things for me was probably the overall decision. Will I, could I, should I, can I, oh, maybe not, maybe could I, no, for goodness sake, do it, girl. Right? Now, I was at a Brett McFall's event, and he actually was sharing what he'd done to be able to get his books out, and he'd found a ghostwriter. So that's where I came away with the idea of, I'll just go and find a ghostwriter. I found an editor who said, you write, I'll edit. So in making that decision was the first important factor, because I knew that once I got started it would flow. I just didn't know where it would flow and to what level it would flow. And I'm so grateful for the whole experience of what I've been on to have witnessed this journey. And that in itself, when you know that you know what you know that you need to know, and you go ahead and you do it.
There's a lot of knowing there, Janice. Thank you.
But you've got to know what it is that you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing those challenges. Thank you.
So, Janice, we're pretty keen to find out how you've actually used your book or leveraged your book to move you forward and advance you in your career. How has it worked for you? Or what have you done to make it work for you is probably a better question.
Yeah, look, I have to be totally honest with you and say this has been one of the biggest challenges for me, being able to step up, step out, and share that information. I have no problems giving books away, but I haven't done anything really in depth in the message that is inside the book. I've had a lot of family troubles that have actually been a contributing factor to some of my failure in not stepping out. But there's still a drive inside of me that I know, I'm going to say it again, Trish, I know that I know what I need now to do. And that in itself, I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's ever too late. It's only too late when you've died and you've not done it.
No, it's never too late, Janice. It's as long as you're moving forward and that's what you're doing, you've got your books there, because there's a lot of people who haven't even got those books. And you've got an idea of where you want to take them and how you want to do it. So that's movement forward. So I just thought I'd like to share 2 tips for those people wanting to write.
Oh, 2 tips. I might have 22 tips.
No, we'll restrict it to 2 tips right now.
Your 2 best ones.
The 2 best ones.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself that you can do it, particularly if you have a connection to write. Some people are numbers people, some people are drawing people. But if you know that you can write, really make the decision to commit to that, because once you've dumped out the message, you've actually dumped out the stuff that's actually clogging the insides, the real genius comes through. So don't be afraid to dump out the stuff that's up here and get it out on paper. Throw that book away, because the next bit that you do is the message that you really need to share. That's tip number 1. So have a knowing inside of you that you can. Tip number 2 is find a good mentor, a mentor that really understands you, a mentor that can be encouraging, somebody that actually walks you through the space. Because it is a big challenging journey when you look at that publishing platform online and you go, oh, what do I do next? But if you've got a mentor who understands that, it makes it just that much easier. And the delight when you get to the other side is exhilarating.
You just mentioned that you did your second book self-published. I was wondering if you'd like to share just a little bit between having it published by a publishing house, you completely self-publishing it, and then working partly with someone who helps you to get it published.
Look, everybody's experience around this is going to be different. I had a vision, I had a focus, I wanted this done. So I went in, pillar and post, and took the dog cage with me and everything, because I was going to do it. There will be others that will go, oh, this is too much information.
Mm.
So when you're doing it on your own, yes, it is lots of steps. Whereas if you have that outside person that is influencing you, giving you guidance, it just makes it a little bit easier. Having said that, would I go the publishing way again? Not so sure I would, because I got so much out of doing it all myself.
Okay.
Mm.
And that's one of the things, I love the challenge. To me it was something that was it was a challenge, but it was also a drive for me to show myself that I could achieve something of a higher level. And that's what I did.
I think that's what's awesome about today is that authors have got that choice. They don't have to go down the formal publishing house, which can be a bit restrictive and very hard to get into. That choice to have a publisher will help them publish, do print on demand, self-publish and help them go that, or that choice as well to just do it all themselves. There's a lot more choices for authors today, and I think that's really one of the benefits of being able to be an author today.
Correct.
It's a massive drive for me is having those choices and not waiting for someone else to give me permission to share my story and get my message out there. I will not wait for anybody, and it's wonderful we have these platforms that give us those options.
Correct. And the other side of the coin is when you're doing it yourself, you do it on your own budget. When you're doing it for somebody else or through somebody else, I mean, I went through the experience of Hay House, and that was going to cost me a phenomenal amount of money. But at the same time, they had that wider girth of followers. But, I got so much enjoyment out of doing it myself. And I would help anybody on that journey now because I have an understanding, and I'm actually in the process of bringing somebody else's book to light now. Step by step, but it's, it's starting to come to light.
Brilliant.
Awesome. So, Janice, what is the name of your book, and where can those people watching today, where can they find a copy?
Well, the copy of my book is called A Vision to Win. And it's primarily written about this little gold medal up here and the vision that I saw for myself in my mindset of winning the race before the race was even run, and then go on to win the gold medal. And like I said before, being able to take the reader through a speech bubble, what the thoughts were that I were having, because I talk to magic spirit, as I call it in the book, and how I was having that conversation, and then somebody tapped me on the shoulder. I was in my own world. Oh, okay, we better go over there and we start doing track and field or doing jumping, whatever the situation was. But you can get my book off a website called www.avision2win.com.
Nice.
And it can actually, it's a PayPal process on the inside. I'll get the message and I sign the book off for you, and I send it to you.
Awesome.
Make it nice and easy for people to shut up and let me give you some money type of arrangement.
Correct. So
awesome.
avision2win.com.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Our viewers, I'm sure, will be coming in and having a look at your book because it's well worth reading. There's a lot of absolutely brilliant information.
So, Janice.
Yes?
Trish, I was just going to say, before we do go, did we want to find out from Janice how she felt about the workshop?
Of the actual event, the workshop?
Yeah, the workshop we did together. So we absolutely, loved working with yourself and all the other authors on the day. It started with a lovely little vision that Trish had some time ago to bring some authors together in an expo situation, and then we added in the ideas of putting the workshops in, and it just seemed to bring so much value to people. We loved it. So we'd love to know how you felt about it, how you experienced it.
Well, this particular event gave me the opportunity to actually launch this book, because I had written it for about 12, maybe close to 18 months, but I hadn't physically launched it. Life got in the way, other stuff happened. So for me, it was a great platform to be able to share the message and be able to say this is officially launched. So it was a really good opening and an avenue. There was a collective great number of people there that, you know, connected, and I've since had a bit of conversation with in the Facebook platform. But I got my biggest turnaround and my biggest aha not so very long ago, because I was at an event and this lady came up to me. She was in the audience. I don't physically remember her, but she came up to me and she said, "You spoke at that event in June, didn't you?" And I said, "The Author's Day?" She said, "Yes." She said, "It was such a delight to listen to you."
Beautiful.
It was such a delight to listen to you. And I said, "Oh, thank you." So that was really good feedback from me. And it was, you know, what are we, 6-7 months now since the event, and she remembered me.
Yeah,
So
it was quite impacting, wasn't it?
yeah. So from that side of things, you know, it worked on a twofold basis, that I was able to share, I was able to receive, and the avenue was there. And, you know, well done to Trish and to yourself, Deborah, for bringing it together.
Thank you for participating with us and bringing your whole self to the process, which is what I think is actually the magic ingredient for the day. Everyone who was there that did participate brought their whole selves to the process, and just made it a beautiful space to be in.
Done deal, totally.
And
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you being part of that event, and appreciate you being part of our interview today. Is part of the highlights of the Get Known Be Seen Expo from 2018. It's been wonderful to have you here sharing your journey to being published, the challenges that you've done, and how everything has worked for you. I'm sure our viewers are going to be getting tons of information from what you've shared today. So do appreciate you being with us.
You're well done. Thank you. Thank you, Janice.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
You've been watching highlights of Get Known Be Seen Expo from 2018 with your hosts, Deborah Fay and Trish Springsteen. And stay tuned to when we bring you our next author from that particular expo. Until then, bye.
Bye-bye.